Time for us to have interaction with a very young politician, a politician that really is he surprising people because, yeah, maybe he's surprising me and other people, but he's probably living up to the expectation that people had for him before he went into the House of Parliament. I'm talking about the MP for K2 North, who is also a member of the Education Committee of Parliament, Edem Agbana. Edem, good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
Before your ascension to the seat, you were something in the NDC.
Yes. Well, let me say good morning to you, to your production crew, and also to all our cherished viewers across the world. Especially to the good people of K2 North, and also to the good people of Mauli School. You know, we are in our 75th anniversary. So okay. I'm in a very, very, very good mood. I'm in a celebration mood because of Mauli's 75th anniversary, which will be crowned on Saturday with a grand deba, and later in the evening dinner.
Yes, Winston tells me he'll be there. So you mean that you attended the same school with Winston?
Yes. Winston was some years ahead of me. Okay. And so they are the chichis. He will understand. Anyway, so yes, I used to be Deputy National Youth Organizer of the NDC from 2018 to 2022. I decided not to seek re-election because I had made up my mind to contest the K2 North seat. But in the last campaign as well, I was privileged to serve as the party's spokesperson on sports development. And so for the manifesto, I was one of those who spoke to the content of the manifesto that borders on sports development and all of that. And so those are a couple of things that I did in the party before becoming member of parliament.
So what point in time did you decide that politics is your game?
Well, I would say leadership, not necessarily politics.
Okay. All right.
So right from my days in primary school, you know, usually they will identify some qualities in you and impose class captain or class prefectship on you, and then you start leading people, and some way, somehow, you learn to do it and do it well. When I got to Mauli School, I was Lincoln House prefect. When I came to University of Ghana, I wanted to go to University of Ghana as a regular student, just minding my books and all of that. But some way, somehow, when you have it in you, when God deposits a certain thing in you, sometimes it's difficult for you to hide it. And so through debate and association with some other leaders, they saw the potentials in me and encouraged me to contest for SRC president, which by God's grace I won. And so I am a former SRC president of Ghana's premier university, the University of Ghana. And so from SRC presidency, advocacy and activism led me to experience politics from many angles. Then I got the opportunity to work with the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa and worked with him in Parliament, worked with him at the Ministry of Education, studied him, and learned many, many things from him and many other seniors of mine. Then continued with activism, started the Ghana First Patriotic Front, which was a civil society organization that fought against some policies of the President Akufo-Addo administration, then later moved to contest Deputy National Youth Organizer at the time because I believe that the youth front of the NDC needed a certain level of vibrancy after we lost the 2016 election. And we went in there, did our best, and that's when myself, Sami Jemfi, and other young people came onto the national scene for the NDC. We played our part. 2020, we were expecting to win the election, but it didn't go our way. We never held back. We continued fighting and fighting. And by God's grace today, the NDC is in power. So I will say that my affinity to leadership started from a very young age, but we continue to develop it, and we are still developing it. We are not there yet. We are still learning. I believe that I'm still taking my baby steps in leadership, because leadership is the only topic that you have millions of books written about, you have many conferences organized on leadership, but it is still the most misunderstood concept. And so for me, even being in Parliament is still a learning stage. Every day I learn something new. Every single day I learn something new. And I'm hoping to learn more and develop my leadership more. For me, ultimately, leadership should be measured by the impact that you have on your people. And that is why when you come to Ketu North, we are doing a lot to make sure that at least our 4 priority areas in Ketu North, we are able to meet our targets. And so every day, it's about investing back into the lives of the people, investing in the constituency, developing them, leveraging on my network, leveraging on friends and family to make life better for my people. And that's what we are doing in Ketu North.
Because anytime I see a post on you and the things you're doing in Ketu North, I hold back and say, how is this young man able to do the things? Today you said it, that you're relying on your network and your sources to try and build it. But this is huge for a young man like you. What's that?
Well, Kojo, I will say that even what you see on social media is just a part of the story. My team will tell you that sometimes the problem they have with me is that we try to hold back many things. We don't want too many people, or we don't want social media to know some of the things that we are doing. But we do a lot that you don't even get to see, by God's grace. It's teamwork. I have lots of people behind me who are working. I have young guys that when I went into their constituency, many of them had interest in politics, but they really did not know the direction. Now I brought them on board, and how I even take them through, the process of lobbying for projects, how they can put their vision into reality and all of that. We are working as a team. But how are we able to do this? Kojo, I think that for me, I believe that it is essential for every leader to have a vision. And when you have a vision and you are willing to go the extra mile, there is nothing that you cannot achieve as a leader. Because many of the things that we are doing or we have been able to do in Ketu North, we started even when we had no resources. I'll give you an example. When we were campaigning, I promised I was going to launch a scholarship scheme for tertiary students in Ketu North. So the very day I was sworn in, which was 7th January 2025, I called my team and I told them that the first project we would do is the scholarship scheme. So on the 8th of January, we released the flyer, opened the scholarship portal, and more than 1,000 constituents of mine and even people from other constituencies applied. But we had a criteria. At the time we started, we didn't have the resources to pay fees for even up to 100 people. But when we got the interest, we started looking, leveraging on friends and our network, started looking for resources. And Kojo, by the time we realized, I was able to raise over 1.3 million Ghana cedis. And the first cohort, over 302 students got it. As we speak today, there are 420 students officially from Ketu North in various tertiary institutions on our scholarship. And I tell people that credibility matters. Sometimes they say, or people accuse us of throwing figures about as politicians. We have the list. We have published it before. Each school, each institution, our students there, their name, ID numbers, telephone numbers, everything is there. And we made a payment for the fees through banks. And all these things can be ascertained. So not just about throwing numbers. Officially, as we speak today, we have 420 tertiary students on the Edem Agbana scholarship scheme. And that's some huge sum of money.
Yes.
And the day we were awarding the scholarship, right? Some of the guests that we invited even came. They saw how beautiful the project was and they invested in it. I recall our Volta Regional Council of State member, who was even my opponent in the primaries. His Excellency Dr. Gabriel Kwamega Atokle. He was my opponent in the primaries. But when he saw what we were doing, he came there that day. He donated 100,000 Ghana cedis to support it.
Oh.
And other people came, other organizations came, and they were invested because we presented a case, and we did a meticulous work. So this is not just about coming to you, Kojo, and saying that, give me money to go and award scholarships. No. We went through a process, students were vetted, and we had all their details, and we could justify every single person on the list. So we are doing the real hard work. So beyond having a vision, we work hard. We are relentless in whatever we want to achieve. Another example of how vision, a mere vision, can spark a certain fire. On Saturday, I was at a program called Duamenefa Regional.
I was going to ask you the name.
Yes, Duamenefa.
Okay.
Yes, so we had that on Saturday. It's a very big gala competition mixed with culture, and it's a social sports social event. Then there's a gentleman called Agbeko Kumoji. He built a very beautiful ICT lab in his hometown, Agbozume.
Yeah. They
call him Prof. Double on social media. So he built a very beautiful ICT lab, modern lab in Agbozume, which is in Ketu South. That's his hometown. But he was at the event on Saturday. In his speech, he mentioned that his desire is to build another ICT lab, and this time around, he wants to do it in Ketu North. Trust me, by Saturday evening, I went to look for land, and I personally told him that I have 500 bags of cement ready, because it is good. We want to have the ICT lab. Now, he just announced it. Maybe his intention is not to start immediately, but my job as a leader is get a vision and let it become a reality. So he needed land. I have already provided. I have provided 500 bags of cement, and other people are donating. Last night I saw he posted some people wanted to donate trips of sand and all of that. So what it tells you is that sometimes as a leader, don't look at the limitations and the fact that, oh, we don't have these resources, we don't have this, we don't have that. When you have a vision and you are willing to move, you should be able to achieve whatever you goals you set for yourself. So as we speak, 3rd November, Kojo, I'm inviting you. We'll be cutting sword for a modern ICT lab in Ketu North.
Okay.
And it started with just an announcement by Mr. Kumoji, but here we are. People are already willing to donate. People are willing to support for us to achieve it. We are doing these things just to change the narrative about leadership. We think that leadership should be about impacting the people. At the end of my 4 years, first term, and I want the people of Ketu North to look or to say that when he came, he did A, B, C, and D, and this uplifted our standards. This uplifted or it brought some improvements in education, in health, and what have you. And so we are investing so much time and resources into Ketu North, and then we are happy that it is going well.
Yeah.
January, I'll cut sword for an AstroTurf or a sports complex for Ketu North. That as well. If you know, MP's Common Fund cannot build an AstroTurf.
No.
MP's Common Fund cannot even provide the floodlights that you see at this sports complex and AstroTurf. But how are we able to do it? We are determined. So we keep moving to places, speaking to people, selling the vision, doing presentations, and all of that. There are times I even moved to embassies. I recall I went to one embassy, and the ambassador told me, after listening to my presentation, he said, beautiful, except that since he came to Ghana, they've been collaborating. It's been government-to-government relationship. This is the first time he's seen an MP coming to approach him, coming to appeal for project, blah, blah, blah. They may not be able to do it themselves as an embassy, but there are some institutions or organizations from their country that he can put us into contact with, and let's see what we can do together. So that tells you that when there is a drive, for me, I see no impossibility. If I say I want to achieve this, with God on our side, we are able to do, because we keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and we don't take no for an answer.
Resourcefulness is the thing, huh? You need to be resourceful to get
yes, resourceful, not necessarily yourself. But,
exactly. Yeah.
But you see, let me tell you something. To be resourceful, you need two things. Integrity. integrity and trust, you should be able to account. So if I come to you, Kojo, and you give me 100 Ghana cedis to support a project in Ketu North, I should be able to account to you that I spent the 100 cedis on the project.
Yeah.
And so we have a policy. Nothing from donors, nothing from those supporting us. And we link. So even when you tell us that you don't want us to mention your name and declare what, we will tell you that give us a name or give us somebody to stand in trust for you. So at the scholarship scheme launch, we mentioned, and the amounts that those who supported, some of them are just my friends in Accra. They were not bothered whether or not I mentioned their names and their contributions to the fund. But I will mention, for you to know that what you gave us has gone into the project and is being utilized for the benefit of the people. Recently, a friend of mine supported a project we were doing in fact, he supported a constituent of mine who needed medical support with 150,000 Ghana cedis. He told me never to mention his name. I went and I mentioned his name, gave his contact to the family, and I said, no, it's not about me. I don't want to take the credit when it is not mine. It is yours.
Yeah.
For you to give us this amount of money to support this, this lady's medical bills and all of that, let the people know. He wasn't too pleased, but later he saw the reason why I needed to do that. Transparency matters. So you can be resourceful, you can have a lot of resourceful people around you, but if you are not transparent, if you don't have integrity and they cannot trust you with the resources, they won't give you.
Yeah.
So that for me is one of my secrets. Every single thing that comes in, we declare.
Yeah. Okay.
And we announce it publicly. We let everybody know that this is what we have gotten from this person. That's the only way others can trust you and come and invest in the project.
And all of these have been done in 10 months.
Yes.
So when you sit back and look into the future, what do you think will be your legacy for Ketu North?
So I have 4 priority areas. Education is one. We, as a constituency, our performance in terms of education is not the best.
Okay.
As we speak, performance during the BEC and Co is not encouraging at all. Okay. We want to change that narrative. So we need to invest in education. What can we do? Schools that that are suffering from teacher deficit, what can we do? I've spoken to National Service Authority, spoken to Ministry of Education, GES, and we need to provide them with enough or adequate, number of teachers. So we are working on all of that. We are supporting the school improvement support officers, or CISOs, as they are called. I supported them by buying them motorbikes so they can do their monitoring and all of that. We are investing heavily in computers or in ICT. I've donated computers to many schools. At the last count, more than 25 schools. Recently, I gave 50 laptops to JOSEC, the secondary school, Georgia Penny Senior High School, 50 laptops, so that the students can use it to write the ICT practicals. Supported some other schools with laptops and all of that, like the Ohavu Agri College, many others. We are doing all of that. We just want to ensure that we cover all the angles when it comes to providing quality education, and we are doing that. Then in terms of the individuals, that's why we have the scholarship scheme, so that those students from Ketu North will say, I'm dropping out of school because I could not raise the needed finances. And let me tell you, beyond what we pay for through the scholarships, on daily basis, we keep supporting students. As I speak, just this morning, I approved full scholarship for a visually impaired student from Ketu North who is going to senior high school, and we needed to support and encourage, because you rarely will see visually impaired students from our part of the world interested in getting education. So we're doing a lot in terms of education. Number 2 is human capital development.
Okay.
Apprenticeship training, putting people in various vocations. As I speak, every community where we vote, we are identifying them by wards and then the polling stations. We are giving 3 people from each community free apprenticeship support, and all of that is from the MP as my social intervention to get many of the school dropouts and the young people, those who are out of school, to get into learning a trade or two, and I'm supporting, paying apprenticeship fee, getting them the machines, everything, just for them to be able to go and learn a trade, and many others. So human capital development. Then agriculture is our major issue. Agriculture is key. We are a constituency that heavily relies on agriculture. And so we've done a lot to support our farmers, especially the rice farmers. You may not be aware, but we are the biggest rice producing district or municipality in Ghana.
Okay.
Ketu North, we are the biggest. But because we have farmers who are mostly peasant farmers, so they are doing half an acre, and all of that, putting them together, it's been quite difficult. But today, as I speak, we have operationalized the warehouse. There's a company actively going around buying rice from our farmers to store for under the National Food Reserve. And this is an arrangement I had personally with the CEO of the National Food Buffer Store Company, Mr. George Abredu Otu. And so we are working so hard across all these areas. And the last one is health and sanitation.
Okay.
We want to make sure that by the end of the 4 years, every community has good water, safe drinking water. We want to make sure.
Okay.
And with that, we are still appealing to NGOs. I'm doing my best, but like I said, MP's Common Fund in a year cannot even construct 20 boreholes in a year. Meanwhile, you needed to do many other things. So we are appealing to individuals. I recently gave a proposal to my friends that if you want to celebrate your birthday, instead of having a very big party and inviting all of us, or you want me to come and be a part, let's all drink and have fun. Spend just about 50, 60, 70,000 to construct a borehole, and I'll name the borehole after. Every day, people are drinking the water, and it's a blessing to you. That's one of the best legacies you can leave. And when I told my friends, they were like, you are crazy, but these are ways, yes. So, well, if you are celebrating your birthday, imagine, I'll just give you a community that needs water. Come and construct a borehole for them. We'll put your name on it. Yeah. And every day they are drinking that water, they remember that there is a certain, like I said, I am not interested in taking the credit. I'm interested in solving the needs of my people. So schools, if you want to come and renovate a school in Ketu North and all of that, you are welcome. Okay. We have. And if you need any information, right on this laptop or iPad of mine, I can produce data on our health facilities, our educational facilities, communities that need water and all of that. So we are always prepared to engage with anyone, any partner for development-oriented projects.
Ketu North is the place to go now to help Edem Agbana deliver that sort of the 4 pillars that he's looking at delivering for the people. Edem, let's go into, because you're a member of the Education Committee, let's go into the placement system. I have 2 issues that were brought to me over the weekend.
Great.
One person never selected the school that he's been posted to. He selected only technical schools, chose technical programs. But he's been put into a school that he never chose, given business. His father says, I know my son, he cannot do it. Another child was posted to another school. His parent has gone for the prospectus, done everything. Then on the day of enrolling, he finds on the system that his school has been changed. What is happening? I don't know what you know of that.
Well, let me say that it is a fact that there are many of these issues that you just mentioned. There are some people, even with good grades, who have not been placed. There are some also who were placed in the wrong schools. And these things have been with us since the beginning of this computerized school selection system. We always want to strive for improvement. This year, I had the opportunity to engage the coordinator, Suleimana, and I can tell you that they have done very, very, very well in handling the situation. They've done extremely well. But there are also 1 or 2 of these instances, like you have said, that needs to be addressed. But generally, I think that the team at the computerized school selection and placement center, they have done a great job and must be commended. But as a country, we need to have a conversation on the way forward for this school placement system. We need a conversation because, Kojo, it is a very important transition from junior high school to senior high school. And the interest is so high that there are parents who, even when they are what's got second choice, some of them, I got calls where some of the students, they refuse to eat. They lock themselves. There was a particular situation where the parent called me and said, please, I need you to talk to my son. He has not eaten for 3 days. He has refused to eat because he said the school he got is not what he wanted, and he thought that the grade he had, he could get it and all of that, and a whole lot, you know. I had to encourage the guy, blah, 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 and all that. That's a story for another day. But the point is that the system needs to be improved. It has just too many challenges. It needs to be improved. We have not seen the level of chaos that we saw in some years back. Recall there was a time parents had to rush to Independence Square. It was very chaotic. This year they had a center at the Nat Hall where those with peculiar challenges went and had their issues resolved. They also had centers across the regions, because I recall some of my constituents told me they went to Ho to have their issues resolved. But generally the system needs to be checked. We need to do something about the system. We really need to do something about the system. One of the ways that we can do something about the system is that after the placement, there must be enough time and enough channels for reporting those peculiar challenges. So if you are a boy, for example, and you have been placed in an all-girls school, so yes, it's a computerized system, but we also know that this is how computer works. It is what goes in that comes out. I don't want to use the term that we use, the popular we use, but it is what goes in. So because as long as it's humans that are working on it, you are bound to see or experience some of these challenges. But I generally believe that the system must be reviewed. And I'm happy the Minister of Education himself announced that we need to take a real look at the computerized school selection system. And let me say, I know for a fact that there are young people in this country who can develop a better system that will come with less or no challenges.
So we should replace the CSS.
No, no, there are models. As you see, technology evolves. Chief, technology evolves. Every day, people are coming out with new innovations and new solutions. Let us open it up and invite some of these tech companies to come with proposals on how best they think we can resolve these challenges. And I believe that we have young people. We don't need to go and buy this software elsewhere. We have young people in Ghana who are capable of producing a resilient, time-tested, system that can resolve these challenges. And I will call on the ministry to engage them. Let's see how we can improve on the system. There were issues, there were also allegations of people buying or paying to have their way. And sadly, Kojo, I want to plead with the people of Ghana that when it comes to these things, we should be able to report. I personally reported about 3 people because some parents sent numbers to me and said, this person said, if I want my child,
I should pay this amount
to get Achimota school or this school, I should pay 30,000, 50,000 and what have you. Some parents were interested
to pay.
Look, even as a member of parliament, there's a particular situation where, and I will show you the message, where a parent sent me a message and said, I want this school for my child, even if I have to pay. I was so angry because I found that to be insulting. I have the message here that I want this school. This is the only school I want for my child, even if I have to pay. The message is here, I can open it for you. I was so angry. I was like, it's even insulting that you're even coming to me as a member of parliament or as a member of the education committee because you wanted a particular school for your child. And you added even in the message that you are willing to pay. And so you are encouraging or condoning these acts of corruption. And let me tell you, when they say people are selling those slots and what have you, it is not necessarily the people managing the system. Let me tell you how it happens. There's a certain quota that has been given to the schools. So maybe I know you as the headmaster for my school, Maoli School, and I want my child to go to Maoli, right? Then I know that maybe if I speak to MFA, oh, MFA, you used to work with MFA, so she may have a relationship with you. I can go and approach MFA and tell MFA that, oh, please talk to Kojo for me so that my son can go to Maoli School. You, the headmaster, maybe you are not going to benefit from whatever amount or that money, but somebody who knows that MFA is close to you can come to me and take money from me and tell me that I will do it for you. Then that person goes to plead with MFA or comes to you. So sometimes people are coming to you and they are begging for you to help them. So to exhaust those protocols. There's a reason why those protocols were given. Let's not run away from it. That even the communities where the schools are located, everywhere, so those protocols were given to the headmasters. So it is possible that even the headmaster is not aware that people are charging. So genuinely you think that you are helping somebody, but sometimes the person is taking money. That's why we set up a committee and said, if you have a situation where anyone is demanding money from you, please report. Okay. And some people were reported. I saw it on Snapchat myself. A gentleman was advertising that Abri Girls, 12,000, Achimota, 20,000, Presec, this and that. I took screenshots and I forwarded it to National Security, and they have been able to deal with the situation because you don't do those things. Yeah, sure. It's really terrible. But again, I believe moving forward into next year, we need an improved system, an enhanced system, and Ghanaian tech companies are capable of producing the solution that we need.
Yeah, just in 1 minute, you did some accountability series in your constituency, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What was the intent behind it? Yeah.
So leadership is about service. As a member of parliament, I see myself as a messenger sent to parliament by my people. So they voted, they elected, and there are many people in Ketu North who are equally qualified or maybe even more qualified to be in parliament. But they sent me. Now, if someone sends you on an errand, you must go back and give a message to them. So every 3 months, every quarter, I organize this community engagement. And you see, the media, everybody is present, and we project what we have done so far, what President Mahama is doing at the national level, and even the bills that came to us or the issues we discussed in Parliament. I tell them, because they must know what is happening. So we had the 3rd edition just last Sunday, and massive. It was really beautiful. So we tell them about President Mahama's achievement because we went to campaign. We told them when you vote for President Mahama, he will do A, B, C, and D. Some of them, but for opportunities like this, they may not get to hear or see what President Mahama and the government is doing. So we take the message back to them. Then the MC, he needs to tell the people what he's doing in his office. And I have a very hard-working MC. So when you have a platform like this, tell them what you are doing, challenges you are facing. That's the only way you can carry the people along. And then briefs from Parliament, I was able to tell them what we are doing so far. Some of the bills that came, the ones who were not able to pass before the House went on recess, and some of the bills that we are expecting in the next session, which begins today. And so these are some of the things, and then updates on MP's promises. So I outdoor the manifesto for my constituency when I was campaigning. We call it Ajogbe. Ajogbe simply means the pledge or my pledge. So it is my pledge to the people. And I share the document, hard copies, soft copies, and they all have it. So every quarter, I ask them that when you're coming for this engagement, bring it. And come with red pen. And be marking. The ones we have been able to do, you must mark it. Yeah, so if I promised you that I will provide, say, water for this number of communities, if I update you, these are the communities that have benefited so far, that you are taking note. It's about accountability. But more importantly, it also gives me the opportunity to engage with my constituents. They ask questions. On Sunday, they asked me some very, very hard, very difficult questions. Some asked questions around why even the military pegged their requirement age at 25 and 27 instead of 30. And some asked about licensure exams and many other things that were happening on the national scene. So it was a good platform. I will continue doing it.
Because of time, let's look at your expectation ahead of the reopening of Parliament today, or return of Parliament today.
Well, it's been quite a while. I look forward to seeing my colleagues, and we know that we have a number of things that we'll be attending to in this particular session. In November, the budget for 2026 will come, and many other things. But I am personally looking forward to the passing of the Ghana Scholarships Authority Bill. It's a bill that I was very passionately speaking to before the House went on recess. I think it's about time, as a country, we have legislation to regulate how we give out scholarships. The days where government spends £80,000 on an individual to go and study political science in the UK, when schools, universities in Ghana cannot even have decent classrooms and laptops and things and all of that. I believe that let's invest the scholarship. It must go to the needy, but it must go for courses that are not run by universities here in Ghana. If 80,000 for one person to go and study religious studies, that $80,000 or 80,000 pounds can be used to renovate some of the faculties that we have in our public universities. So there must be legislation regulating scholarships. And we must stop doing things based on partisan considerations, where I can only get scholarship if I am connected to a politician. Every scholarship must be justified. And in that bill, we made provision that we must publish the names of beneficiaries, because it was sickening. Look, in the last administration, scholarships were sold like kelewele. In the last administration, we had situations where even people whose parents were members of parliament, ministers, they were the ones benefiting from scholarships. What happened to the that should not be the case. Because I want the poor child from Akpatweme, I want that brilliant student from Ajinu Kope to be able to benefit from scholarships without necessarily having a political link.
Thank you very much. So, someone who is watching us now, you know, I'm told there's people who cook for the day student 1 hot meal a day. She says that we've not been paid for 10 months now. Now the form ones are in school.
The days for the 1 hot meal a day.
Yes. They are not going to eat because we've not been paid.
That's sad. I'll pick it up with the Minister for Education this morning, and I'll give you a feedback so you report back to them. It's the first time it's coming to my attention, because I know that feeding fees have been paid to all the senior high schools. I recall even before Parliament went on recess, through Get Fund, we disbursed 1.2 billion for feeding. And across the senior high schools, they are all happy with how regularly food is coming, food supplies is coming. So if the day students own is a peculiar situation, I'll pick it up with the minister, get to know the fact, and I know that as a proactive minister, he will act on it. But we will rectify. But if the person can send you details, maybe it's relation to a particular school, we should be able to know.
Edem Agbana, I'm grateful to you for coming here.
Kojo, thank you so much for the opportunity.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
You are doing so well.
Yes. But this weekend, I want to invite you to Ho. Maoli School 75th anniversary. Follow Winston. Come with Winston. You'll have fun.
We'll see what happens. But he's a young man delivering for his constituency. You are giving hope to young people that indeed, when we put our mind to something, we can also do it. So thank you for that hope that you're inspiring across the country and for the teeming youth. This has been the AM show. Edem Agbana is the MP for K2 North Constituency. There's more coming up next year on the show. Good morning to you.